This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
Joining us today is Mark Sale, the CEO of First Class Metals, following news from the inaugural drilling program on the company's ZigZag Lithium property. Of course, that was a drilling program that happened back in December there. I know we were talking about getting active on a project, Mark, and this was the one that you indeed got active on, and it was back in December. I think you drilled, was it 9 holes, and then you did a 10th one that was a step back. You call it a scissor, which I believe is you go this way and then you go that way, so you sort of cross over. But what was it like? Because, I mean, you quoted in the RNS there saying that it exceeded the company's expectation for the property.
I believe it has, Mark, because we had the channel sample results, which were very encouraging. And these drill results, the intercepts are as large, if not larger, than some of the channel results. And the grades are as good, in places even higher. But one of the really sort of startling things that have come out of the drill results is the other critical accessory metals, such as the rubidium, which is, I mean, up to 0.5% in one of the samples, which is, I hasten to say, ore grade, because there's very few rubidium mines about the place. But if you were putting something into production, I think that's getting up there.
Well, I want to talk about those other credits in a moment, but of course it is a lithium-focused project, so you've got there some results coming out, the Li2O. You're talking there 4.3 metres at 1.65, 1 metre at 2.96, another hole there 0.2 at 5.19, another hole 6.5 metres, 1.09, including half a metre at nearly 3%. These are pretty good grades, aren't they, for an Li2O spodumene deposit?
I think they're incredible grades for our inaugural drill program, Mark. And as I say, the company, I'm certainly very, very pleased with what we've identified. And I think one of the other takeaway points is that the step backs prove continuity at depth and grade continuity. And the fact that the most easterly and westerly holes hit, I won't use that material, hit highly anomalous lithium results and prove that it's open. So we've got something that's open at depth, open to the east, open to the west. And I threw in the press release today the fact that we'd done that NNI soil sampling earlier on. And I know we've already reported those results. But again, I just wanted to emphasize that the indications are that, yes, it's open, and yes, it continues to the east and the west. So I think we've got all to play for here.
All to play for. Well, let's talk a little bit about what you mentioned earlier about the accessory metals, the elevated accessory metals, as the RNS says. You definitely mentioned rubidium there, but it's also gallium, cesium, and tantalum. So what does this mean? I mean, I think it's quite common to find these other elements within a lithium deposit. But what does it perhaps change your perspective a little bit on the project? Was it a surprise?
It was certainly a surprise, but let's not forget that a lot of these pegmatites are classified as LCT pegmatites, lithium, cesium, tantalum. So, they do march together, shall we say. But yes, the rubidium regularly intercepts of several meters at 0.2%. That's been the surprise, because we didn't see that in the channel. So either there's some sort of superficial leaching of the rubidium, or we've got metal zonation. So deeper down, we can think positively that things just get better in as far as the critical accessory metals are concerned.
Okay, so it's something that you will be looking to explore further, will it, then, these other metals here?
Yes, of course we will. And furthermore, I also wanted to draw attention in this release, even though we did mention it in the prior one, that we've got this geochemically inferred southern structure. And that was actually higher in some of these critical accessory metals than it was in the lithium. But at this stage, there's a few grab samples and a few soil lines, enough to indicate that there is a geochemical trend there, but obviously not at this stage to put hand on heart and say we have another structure. But more exploration needed.
Well, yeah, let's talk about what's to come then, because of course this is the inaugural drill program, as you said earlier. It's early stage, of course. It's that first go at the project, but a good start. Well, a great start it seems to be looking at the results coming in there. And you've said significant upside for the expansion of the geochemical envelope along strike and in both directions and down dip. So in terms of next steps, then. What's to come? I gained from the RNS that you want to get additional exploration permits, presumably then to do some more drilling to extend the strike.
Yes, I mean, the permit we have allows us to do more drilling and some stripping as it stands, but it doesn't include any drilling on the potential southern structure. So we'll roll it all into one, and I hope to meet with White Sands First Nations at PDAC next week. They're attending, and I've spoken to them, and discuss this additional permit. That's been our way of approaching, and I feel that's one of the reasons that we have good relationships with the First Nations. Is before we submit it to the authorities, we like to talk to them about what we hope to achieve with an exploration permit. You're no longer allowed to revise them; you have to submit a new one.
Right, okay. But you'll be going to PDAC in the next week, is it the next week or two? And you'll be having those meetings with White Sands and getting that ball rolling?
That's my intention, yes. I fly out actually on Friday tomorrow. So, yes.
Okay. And in terms of what you'll be working on, of course, I know you're planning for PDAC and you'll be having meetings when you're there, but what's the team going to be focusing on? Prepping for that next drill program, or are there other things going on with the other projects in the company?
I'm still very enthusiastic about the North Hemlo Dead Otter trend as well as Sunbeam. I think the work that EGS did for us towards the end of the field season last year with the stripping and sampling, especially the revelation of gold in the porphyry, the hosting porphyry, I think there's a lot of excitement yet to come on Sunbeam. And as we know, North Hemlo is a new discovery, 19.6 grams, the highest sample taken in that northern limb. So, yeah, we've got other focuses, but at the moment, everyone seems to think lithium's coming back. But my attitude is gold's the backbone. It'll always be there.
So will you be looking to showcase all of first-class metals at PDAC then?
We will have the core, obviously, from ZigZag, because it's the only core we have. But we will have a selection of rocks from the other properties, as well as a litany of maps.
Okay. Good. And if I just get a final thought of what might be to come, Mark, could you give a hint of what's being worked on in the background?
We're talking to a lot of people at the moment.
Okay, we'll leave it at that then. Well, thank you very much for your time, Mark Sale, the CEO of First Class Metals.
Thank you, Mark.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.